Hello guys, welcome to Light Guys GTA. This is our full video for Lexus IS350. We have this client coming over from New York and he is here to get ambient lighting flow series from our shop. And this is a full video guide as I mentioned, so I will be showing you how to install these ambient lighting kit from scratch, from opening the doors to like making the groove up front to wiring to installing the lights and everything. Okay, so here we go. So this is the door that we're gonna be opening up first. So all you have to do is to take a pry tool and pry over here like that, and then this piece will come off. So this piece is actually sitting up here like this. Okay, so it's sitting up here like that, like this, and then all you have to do is put this here, the pry tool, pry it out, and then that will reveal the two PH2 Phillip head 2 screws over there. Same goes for your door handle. So your door handle is exactly like this, and let me show you. So it's basically sitting up right here, and then all you have to do is like pry it out from the bottom. And let me show you this, hold on a sec. So yeah, here it is. All you have to do is put this here and clip out. Okay, and then you will reveal another Phillip head screw there. So total 3 Phillip head screw that are holding this guy in the place, and then you can just simply take this off. Okay, and your door card will be free to come out. So basically 4 simple steps and the door card will be free. Let's take this out. Let's take this one out. Let's take this one out. So 3 screws in total. Okay, once we have those 3 screws out, all you gotta do is put your hand, so here I'll show you. You have a space here, so you can grab it. It even shows you the mark to open the door card. Grab it here, pull it out just like that, and just keep pulling it out. Okay. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is this one right here. Okay, so that's another screw that you have to take. This is the rubber grommet that is basically a switch, so don't forget to put this back, otherwise this switch is not gonna work for your welcome lights. Okay, so that's a switch for your welcome light. If you can see, if I press this, so those welcome lights go off and on. Okay, so don't forget to put this back. This is important, guys. Now we can pry this guy out. Once you have all those up, release. Make sure your door card can move like this. Then you gotta hold it from both sides and lift up. Okay, so lift up. Keep lifting up, keep lifting up, keep lifting up until you get to this point right there. So now over here you gotta be very careful. Okay, so we got these two. So you just lift it. See how you lift it up, and then you can just take this guy out. Same for this door. Lift it up and take it out. So half of your door is already released. Now you gotta be careful with these wires. So there's a clip. Press and pull down. Same goes with this. Press and take off. And your door card is almost released. The last part is this Lexus. Okay, so you gotta same thing, press and release. Okay, and your door card is free. Basically that's how you take it off. It's exactly the same for all doors. You gotta do exactly the same steps. The only difference with the back door is once you're gonna take it off, there's no light at the bottom and there is no light over here. Okay, so one less switch, only one switch for the door handle controls that one. So you already took it off. and that's about it. Okay, let's move on to the other installation guide for that. So guys, to do this job, these are basically the tools required: a pair of scissors, or headlamp, tape, silicone glue. You need a prying tool, a tester, pH5. I believe it's pH5. Yeah, that's pH5, or maybe pH2. What is that? Yeah, that's pH2. So pH2 Phillip head bit, screwdriver, or you can even use electric gun, but just in case if not required, you can just use this simply, and then an extension if required. If not, then you can only work with these two guys as well. You need a blade to make a graving on the dashboard. You need this, you need that, you need that, and obviously our ambient lighting kit is a must. You can purchase this on www.lightguysgta.com, and this is the kit that comes with it. So you have a pair of foot lamps, that's a single your main controller. Okay, that's your kit diagram, like where you can put these lights, and then those are your strips, and that's your 4 subcontrollers for each door each, and that's your extension wire, just in case if you require to use that. So these are basically the things that are required to do this assembly of the lights. So let me show you what we can do next. Okay, so first thing first, this is the back of your driver's side door card. Okay, what we need to do is, if you notice here, we have 1, 2, 3 screws that are holding our door handle. Okay, so we're gonna make sure we lose them, because once we're gonna start putting our strip, it's gonna be really tight over here because of this door handle. So make sure you lose that door handle before you even try and put the strip in there. Okay, so that's the first thing first you need to do. And then deciding either you want to keep this light or not, you have to take this off. Okay, so for our client, we're gonna be taking this off and putting it with our 64 color door control light over here. So this whole strip's gonna be gone for this car at least, and then we're gonna lose this screw up and we're gonna start putting the strip on. Okay, so the door handle is off. This is what we made it here. As you can see, it's very flushed. So what we are using is this is a professional tool. Again, it's a what do you call this? It's a grinding tool that you can use, and it makes like a very nice holes, and that's what the hole looks like. That slot here was the original one, so what we did, to center it out, we centered that hole right between these two bars, as you can see. So now our light, we took it out from its assembly. So the assembly kind of looks like this. Let me show you. So this is what the actual assembly look like. If you can fit this anywhere in the door, that's perfect. If not, then I recommend you taking it out of the assembly and glue it on like that. Okay, so it fits perfectly on it. As you can see from the bottom, you don't really see, all you see is like that little very flushed light. As you can see how flush that is. So this is how we're gonna put it on. So let's glue it on. Alright guys, so this is how we put this on now, and then make sure you don't overdo it or pass above these grooves over here, because then this door handle won't fit back exactly the same. So make sure your glue, when you put it on, it's not too high from the profile of the light, and it's not more than this. So just don't, you know, overkill it with the glue, because then your door handle won't fit. There is a mechanism over here, you know, that it needs to be fitted. So once the door card goes back, that's you know, you got to make sure that this is not overdone. So just be mindful about that. But otherwise, this is how our front door handle looks like. As you can see, you can't really see the light is there, but under there you can see the bulb that we just put it in. So just make sure you put it like this. So let me show you the back door. So for the back door, we made that groove, as you can see, it needs to go at an angle because there's not much space there, and then this way it can center out with this hole a bit off, but the way the light's gonna fall is gonna fall right here because it's an angle. It's almost like, you know, I would just guess it honestly, it's like 70-degree angle, you know. So that's how it's gonna look like, you know, just coming like that, and that's how the light's gonna fall, and then you would be able to, you know, see the difference at the back door, because back doors doesn't usually come with the light. There's a speaker, so you gotta be very careful when taking this plug off, because this plug can usually pull off those speakers, so just be mindful about that. Yeah, so let's put the LED strip in there. Alright, so for the back door, as you can see, we put the LED there, and it's pretty flushed, as you can see from the outside of the door, but under you see it's right there. So that's how you put the back door LED. Okay, now let's put the strips and the door puddles. Alright guys, so to put the strip, let me tell you one thing very clearly. It's a bit technical, okay? So this is what you gotta do, okay? So this is how you're gonna run the wire. You have to make a bit of a hole over here, alright, as you can see. But this hole is not on the front of the door, because once we're gonna put this thing up, you see how that hole's gonna be covered? So that's how you gotta put, okay? So I'll show you the final item. You won't be able to see that hole. That's a disclaimer. You gotta be very careful. Do the installations with some professional, and you know, you gotta make that hole. Don't make that hole horizontally, or sorry, vertically. Just make it horizontally like this, okay? So if you see from here, that hole is going across the door cover, okay? It's not going upward, but it's going across the door profile. So you gotta be very careful. If you go up beyond this line right here, you're gonna see that hole, okay? So it's like a very minute detail that you have to be following, otherwise you will see that hole there. Because if you're gonna go from this side, you will see the hole. You can't take the strip inside from here. Up to you, you know. But to make it look OEM, we always follow the best practices, and we always make sure that, you know, we are satisfying our clients. So this is how you gotta put it on. So this is how the strip's gonna come. Second thing you gotta be careful when putting the door strip is, you have to unscrew these 3 screws over here, okay? So these are the one for the handles, these 2. These 3 are actually holding this trim with this trim, okay? So this trim with this trim. So you gotta make sure you give it a bit of a space to wiggle around so you can put the strip in there, okay? Same goes with the door. As you can see, I can move it. Once the strip is in there, I'm gonna tighten it back. So stay tuned for that. So guys, this was the last piece of our door. So we put one over here. That's the LED for our door puddle right there. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's down there. As you can see, this is where it is, okay? So that one in there is what's gonna lit up this area of the door. So let's that's our strip right there. As you can see, strip is very flushed, evenly flushed all across the door, and we don't see any curve, anything. That's how our door is. And from the front, as you can see, all flushed, okay? So let's wait for that and get the strip up. So guys, here's the back door card, and this is how we're gonna put this in. And as you can see, there is a flange here, okay? So you're gonna run the wire in there like that, and you're gonna make it flow all across the door like this. And then you're gonna make sure the wire is not pinching over the screw. And then this over here, as you can see, is gonna sit like that, but once it's flushed, you won't be able to see this. And then make sure you put this side first, and do not finalize anything. We're gonna cut that later, but this is just to hold the strip in place so we can get a good estimate how we're gonna be putting this strip in. So stay tuned. We're gonna put this piece in now, and we're gonna be putting this one in. So the light is in there, as you can see. We just have to put this back, and then we'll show you how it looks. So alright guys, we put the strip back in, and that's how our strip looks. As you can see, it's very flushed on this side, and you can just tighten it up a bit, and then that's how it sits. And that's the top light, and now we're putting another one over here for this door handle puddle right here. So we will have that light. As you can see, the hole is drilled. We're gonna clean this up a bit, and then it should be good for the light setup. It's a very tiny hole, you don't really see much, but you will have a nice flow over here on the door handle, because we don't have a door puddle on the back side of the door. That's why for this Lexus, either you can have that ring light over here for the door speaker, or you can have this. But that ring light is the OEM package that we usually get, so it's a whole strip over here. You can find that on our website too. But for this one, this is a flushed LED strip that we put over here. So stay tuned of how it looks. So we'll show you the wiring now. So guys, next we put the box here. Make sure your box is not higher than any of these or any of this, otherwise it won't be able to close. So you see these anchors where it's holding your clips, so make sure your box is not higher than that. Another thing is you gotta make sure your wires are all tucked in, so that's how we run the wires, nicely tucked in, and make sure everything is clear off these clips once you're about to close the door. Okay, so that's how our box looks. This is our power cable coming out, and make sure your power cable is there just in case you need to disconnect, and this is how it looks from the door up. Okay, and we'll show you the connection momentarily, but this is how the doors are done. So let's move to our connections now. Okay guys, so to test the wiring, so we have this mirror control assembly right here. Okay, this guy right here, we tested all of the source. This source is for the ambient light that comes with the car. It's good to use it, but the moment your car start moving, this loses the power, so your ambient lights goes off. But this is a good source for your door handle alone if you just wanted to upgrade your door handles. Okay, now this source over here, that's the what do you call this? This is the window control motor power supply. And then this one is your door control, and this one is your speaker. This one is your ambient light, and then you have another source over here, but this doesn't usually work. Okay, but where we're gonna connect is this guy right here, if you see. So we have this guy over here in the front door, driver side, and then that guy right there, back side of the door, into your driver side. Okay, so this one is actually the module control for proximity sensors, as well as your window rolling up motor sensor. Okay, so this plug here, it's same on the other side, it's same for the passenger side, and same there. So just keep it consistent, so you have a consistent power drain for the the subcontrollers of the ambient light. Okay, so make sure you take the power from here. Nowhere else in the car you will gonna get the power. Okay, you can get it here, but as soon as your windows are locked, it's gonna go away. So this is the constant power that subcontrollers can get, but subcontrollers don't really use the power to power the lights until your main controller is turned off. So all the conception that is out there on the videos, on all the channels, that, oh, you know, it's gonna drain your power, no, that's nothing in there that's gonna drain the power. It's just the Bluetooth module control that works until your until your main controller comes on, and then it start providing the power. So let's move on and do the wiring for these doors. Let me show you the wire. So here we go. So the green one here is actually the live power. The black one here, the black and the white one on the front driver side door, is your ground. Okay, so ground and live, ground and live. Green is live, black and stripe, white is your ground. So let's wire into this. So to make the wire connection, you're simply gonna take the black one, push the pin in there, and the red one, push the pin right beside the green one. Okay, so this is how the pins work. So that's the pin. Simply gonna take it and push it in here. Let me focus my camera just like that, and you're just gonna push it further in, and that's it. That's how you do the wiring. Okay, to locate it, now you can also test it with this tester, that if your power is coming in there. So all you gotta do is test it like this, just like that. Okay, so as you can see, the wire is live now, and then it's grounded properly. It's grounded to the car, and then that's where the wire is connected right now, the red one. Okay, so that's the wire, and now it's live and it's draining power. So if you take it out, no power is drained. So just keep that in mind and be mindful once you put this, that do not touch this with that or any other wire with the ground, otherwise you're gonna blow up a fuse. So you gotta be very careful. That's why I always recommend to get it installed from a professional or get it installed from somebody who know any electrical stuff in the cars. So just make sure you do that. Thanks. So our final wire looks like this, and before you put anything back, just make sure you test it one more time if your power is live. So to test that, all you gotta do is touch this guy. So once you're gonna touch it, you have a contact, you have the circuit completed, and your light is working. Okay, so that's your power supply now for the switch subcontroller. So for the back door, we took that out. Okay, and this is our tester, and here the black one is live, white and black is ground. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick test here. As you can see, we're gonna test it, and that's how it works. Okay, so we do this test, it's live. Okay, so that black is positive, the white and the black is negative. So let's put it on there. So red one's gonna go with black right here, and the black one's gonna go with white and red. So just be mindful about that. And once you put everything back, just make sure you do a sanity check with your live wire. Once it's all good, you're good to go. So this door is completed. We'll show you the final product now after plugging it in. Alright guys, so we are on the passenger side rear door. As you can see, the colors are different on the rear door here as compared to that, the left side, driver's side passenger rear door. So this one is red instead of black, whereas the ground is exactly the same and consistent throughout all doors, which is a black stripe, white, and this one is red. So live wire, we're gonna do a check on the live wire. As you can see, live wire is hot. Okay, so this is hot, this one is negative, this is positive. Okay, so connect your red one to the red, black to the black, and white. So let's do that. Another thing I want to mention here is that because these two wires are too close to each other, so make sure you tape one of them or tape both of them. I do one tape on the ground only because otherwise it will be too tight for the red wire to sit in there, and then it will give you a fluctuation of the power. So the best way to do is tape one of them to cover them from getting intact and causes a fuse blow. So just make sure you do this, or you can even put it from this side. As you can see, there is a groove on the other side too, but depending on how would you like to do that, this is the best I have find so far, doing after like 6 Lexuses, that you can tape one of the ground ones and leave the hot one live, because here it's all rubber. Okay, so there is no way you can make this intact with the metal of the switch. So just make sure, be mindful about that. and we'll show you the rest of the product. Okay, again, once you connect it, just make sure you do a sanity check and make sure you are connected with this thing like that, and your light is blown on the tweeter tester, and you're good to go for the connection. Alright guys, so here we are on the passenger side front door. Here live one is yellow. As you can see, we put the red with the yellow, and again the ground is exactly the same, striped black and white. So red with the yellow, black with the white and black striped. Okay, so just be mindful about that. Thank you. Alright guys, so here is the most trickiest part of this install for the Lexus only. Okay, this is only for the Lexus cars. So as you can see, let me show you something. So you see that groove right there? That's where you gotta make a space into that groove, and you have to make sure you have a specific tool for that. Okay, so the tool I'm gonna use is this sharp blade. Okay, I just changed the blade. As you can see, it's pretty sharp. So this is the blade from Mastercraft we're gonna be using, as this is very important part. So I'll show you something what we need to do on the blade in order to make very precise cut. Okay, so let me show you that. So you see the tip of the blade, as high as that tip is to the ambient lighting black tape, you gotta make sure that you only make the incision height as compared to this. Okay, so you gotta tape that part of the tip, and that's the only time when you can make it. So as you're gonna go at an angle, so make sure you tape it all the way here, and that way you will have a consistent cut in that groove. So that's the very important part. Otherwise you're gonna have a high and a low on the strip. To avoid that, you just gotta make sure you have cutting the blade exactly that height. So let me show you how. Okay, after taping, it's gonna look like this. So you're only using that part of the blade to make the incision. So let me make the incision and I'll show you how we made it. Guys, so this side is done, completely flushed and nicely done. On this side we're gonna be doing the smaller strip. Again, you have to make a very careful grooves on this side, and you gotta make sure that your space on this side is conveniently available, and once it's done you can pretty much use this kind of tool that comes with the kit to make it a little more bigger. So this is how we're running the wire. As you can see, the wire is here for this one, and all you gotta do now is to make sure that you pull it from here. As you pull, the wire is gonna start moving. Make sure you don't pull it too much, otherwise your strip's not gonna be flushed. Okay, so you gotta make sure, put this tiny little strip here, just like that. Let me show you. Alright guys, as you can see, this is very flush, sitting right in there, and I think we sink it a bit, so I'm gonna take it off just like that. I'm gonna take this out a bit. Okay, let's fix that anyways. That's how it looks. This side, that side, all flushed. Doors, everything is done. So for that side, we have to open this up and then run the wire over here. So all you gotta do is pull this back, and this whole column comes off, and then you can easily wire this. So this wire is here, this wire is here. We just need an extension for that wire to reach it to the box, and then we're all good. So this is how we do the complete installation, guys. Hope you like the video. We'll show you the final product now. Alright guys, to wire the main box, all you gotta do is we put this button over here. It's a touch sensor button. Okay, we put it for the client, and then you're gonna just run this clip. Only one thing we are attaching, we're not attaching the footwells with this car as per customer's requirement. So all you gotta do is plug this in, but before to plug that in, you gotta hardwire this to the fuse box. Okay, and to do that, as you can see right here, that's where the fuses are. Okay, so we're gonna go with this plug because we already have that in there for the dash cam for this client, so we're gonna use the same one, or maybe we can test it with one of these fuses. Okay, so it could be 10, it could be 15. We're gonna see where we can tap the tap fuse, like just like that. So stay tuned.